Okay, I think we are ready to go. Just a couple of housekeeping stuff. During the presentation, you will have a chance to participate in our Q&A. Use the toolbar in Zoom to ask questions if you have those. And we'll ask you to participate in a couple of polls just to get your insights into a couple of topics. So with that, let us get started. Welcome to today's webinar, Developing a Quality Culture that Drives Compliance and Business Success. My name is Don Weerbong, President of ELEAP. For over 19 years, we have empowered organizations in regulated industries to excel through robust learning, performance, and quality management systems. Our solutions are designed to simplify compliance, enhance workforce capabilities, and drive operational excellence while adapting to the unique needs of today's fast-paced competitive landscape. This afternoon, we are thrilled to bring you insights from Ms. Cassandra Harbour, a seasoned expert in quality management and compliance. Cassandra is renowned for her work in fostering quality cultures that not only meet strict regulatory standards, but also fuel innovation and business growth. With years of experience guiding organizations through complex quality challenges, she brings a wealth of knowledge and practical expertise to today's session. Let's dive into this critical conversation on how a strong quality culture can transform your compliance efforts into a competitive advantage. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Cassandra Harbour.
Thank you. Thank you, Don, for that wonderful introduction. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. And thank you for joining us all on this lovely webinar. I hope I can provide some value add to your quality culture knowledge. Okay. All right. So I guess we'll get started. Go ahead, next slide. Okay. So today I'd like to discuss with the team introduction to quality culture. I'll start there. I'll talk about what does that mean, what are the benefits. Then I'll discuss fostering a company-wide culture of quality. What are the key components, and how does leadership fit into that? Then I will dive into engaging employees and continuous improvement. What are the best practices? How does it impact your business? Then I'll tie all that together with quality outcomes and business success. What are the strategies and tools that you can use today? And what are the essentials to build out a 30-day quality culture plan? Okay, next slide. All right, so the importance of quality and regulated industries. Now, in regulated industries, maintaining a strong quality culture is crucial for compliance, customer safety, and business success. Regulatory bodies have stringent requirements and non-compliance that lead to severe penalties, recalls, and reputational damage. A proactive quality culture not only ensures compliance, but also enhances efficiency, reduces cost, and fosters customer trust. Embracing quality as a core value enables organizations to navigate regulatory challenges effectively while driving continuous improvement and competitive advantage. Next slide. Okay, now I'd like to take a pause and ask our guests, how would you rate your organization's current culture of quality? Okay, we'll take a moment.
So we will have this poll come up real quick. And if you can help us with your insights on this, this will be perfect.
So I see quite a bit of fair, some good, some excellent, and a few needs improvement. Okay. Fun fact, when the majority of organizations within the life science space, when asked the same question, their answer is fair. They may have some quality processes in place, but they may not be fully integrated into the company culture due to lack of ownership, a reliance on reactive rather than proactive approaches to quality issues. Okay, so that's good. Next slide.
Take that off and we can resume.
Okay. All right. All right. Now, this brings us to the importance of quality culture. Now, the definition, if everyone who's maybe in the life science industry. Now, it is a shared set of values, behaviors, mindsets, actions that promote and prioritize quality, compliance, and continuous improvement in every aspect of operations. Okay, next slide. Okay. Now, the benefits of a quality-driven organization, there's a few benefits I'll point out. There's quite a few, but these are the top four. First, regulatory compliance, always being compliant with regulatory bodies. By building an organization that prioritizes quality, the employees will be more empowered to take ownership, be more proactive about continuous improvement, and see compliance as a necessity rather than a hindrance. Another benefit is improved customer satisfaction. Engaged and informed employees are more likely to understand how their contributions directly affect quality of your products and services. And as a result, they go the extra mile to resolve issues and proactively address nonconformances, which results in higher customer satisfaction and loyalty. Another benefit is reduced costs and risk for all those owners and executive leadership. Cost is important. Like that old timey saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. By fostering a proactive, quality driven organization, you reduce the likelihood of defects, recalls, and penalties, resulting in a significant increase to your company's bottom line. And finally, another benefit, brand reputation. Consistent, high quality products, goods, and services that are compliant with regulations build customer confidence and brand loyalty. Okay, next slide. Okay, so you ask how fostering the company-wide culture of quality, how do you do that? So there's a few key components of a quality culture. First and foremost, leadership commitment. You got to walk the talk. Clear quality vision and mission. That's the why behind the what. Being more proactive than reactive, as explained before, and having quality mindset at all levels, from your janitor to your CEO, everyone has to be on the same page. Then employee training and empowerment, equipping your employees with skills and the knowledge to make effective quality related decisions and shared responsibilities, allowing your employees the space to use their newfound knowledge to take ownership of quality issues. Okay, next slide. Now, as I mentioned before, the role of leadership, setting the tone. Now, there's a few things that leaderships can do in order to set the tone within their industry. First, you have visibility leadership support. You ask, what does that look like? Leadership commitment to a company-wide culture of quality is multifaceted. It goes far beyond superficial statements. Leaders have to, again, walk the talk, lead by example, actively participate in quality reviews, modeling quality-focused behaviors, and communicate the importance of quality, consistent, empowering employees to be more proactive about quality. You have to set clear quality goals. How do you do that? Ensuring that quality is clearly communicated and embedded in strategic planning and decision-making meetings, like your monthly meetings, your quarterly meetings, your executive meetings. And just as important, you have to communicate those goals to the entire company through various methods, like company-wide update emails, a common area board, like a information board, or a newsletter for those who don't have company emails. And also allocating the resources. You have to provide the necessary time, training, support, and this part may be hard to hear, funding, to reach quality metrics, as well as remove any relevant obstacles that prevent employees from achieving those quality goals. Okay, next slide. So the best practices for engaging your employees to achieve this, there's a few. Encouraging open communication and feedback. A few popular approaches are team meetings, town halls, where a two-way dialogue can be facilitated between leadership and employees to share ideas and provide feedback on quality-related issues. For employees that are not a fan of public speaking, low-tech digital tool that can allow the employees to provide their feedback without fear of judgment or repercussions is also a great option. Um, And then we have recognize and reward quality focused behavior. A small gesture of appreciation goes a long way. Some companies use little things like gift cards, some company swag, a mention in the company newsletter or website. It not only it does it give employees the sense that they are valued, a member of the company, but it also signals to others that they'll be celebrated, not punished for having a proactive mindset. And then you have career advancement by cultivating the team of quality focused employees and problem solvers. You internally develop your next team leader. Um, and you can strengthen a company's reputation for having a strong integrated quality culture and high quality product or services, which then, as a result, commands a high dollar amount in the market. Um, and then you can also involve your employees in problem solving, things like kaizans, mini kaizans. It's a great way to encourage continuous improvement and involve employees in quality initiatives. You have your team meetings. Those are opportunities for team members to bring up compliance issues that managers may not even be aware of. And quality circles. I haven't seen a lot of these, but for the few companies that I have seen, it's wonderful. It's a great opportunity to empower employees from specific work areas to lead their own informal group of and address smaller, more immediate issues. And it can be led by like a trade facilitator. Okay.
Hey,
Uh,
Cassandra, I've got
yeah,
a quick little question and comment.
sure.
So engaging employees is, in my opinion, always a good thing, right?
Mhm,
But we tend to have issues where some employees might not speak up because of fear of basically retribution,
mhm,
right? If they point something out, it might be that, somebody's gonna come after them for doing that.
mhm.
How do you encourage folks, or what best practice have you seen to encourage folks to really get into a culture where it is open communication and maybe even provide anonymous feedback if that is what it takes to be able to get all the information you need?
Sure. Well, there is one item that I've seen before where for those who don't necessarily want to use their email, their IP, there is in like a common area where you have a dedicated like a computer or desktop where people can put in comments. Like there's like a little laptop where you can put in your comments, like a suggestion box, if you will. That
Hmm.
way, it's centralized in this common area, and it's not necessarily tied to one person. It's a very quick, very immediate way of getting suggestions directly to that representative that facilitates, reads, quantifies, tracks and trend, and eventually, hopefully, makes actionable changes with the help of leadership. Um, that's one great way. I've seen mom and pops, they still have even though it's 2024 going on 2025, they still have the good old fashioned suggestion box where you can just simply drop in your suggestions. Um,
Yep.
and then there are people who might be dedicated champions for those who are trying to create a culture of quality and build that trust because trust takes time. You know, there may be a person that is specifically designed in that corporation who um, their job is to champion and encourage and empower those employees to provide their suggestions. And that's where town halls and like company updates, like a group update is usually helpful. So it's not overnight, but it will eventually take time.
Yeah.
Trust takes time. Depends on your corporation and how well your quality culture is going in what direction. So it's going to take some time.
Good. And
Okay.
hopefully webinars like this will definitely help to start that process. So thanks.
Yes, I'm happy to help. All right. So let's see. I guess we can go next slide. Okay. So that brings us to continuous improvement and its impact. Now, um, looking at Kaizens, for those that have not done Kaizens, or because if you're in manufacturing or customer service or technology or IT, A Kaizen is defined as a systematic, ongoing effort to enhance products and systems by making improvements over time, focusing on increasing efficiency, reducing waste, and enhancing quality, often through active involvement in employees at all organizational levels. The benefits of that, as mentioned before, enhance operational efficiency and better compliance and reduced defects. Okay, next slide. Okay, now one case study that famously exemplifies this is Toyota's continuous improvement model and quality management approach, which centers on employee engagement through encouraging workers at all levels to suggest process improvements, creating a culture of continuous learning, and implementing employee feedback mechanisms. Now, this well-known approach led over to 1 million suggestions annually, with 90% implemented and significant improvements in quality metrics, including a reduction in defects and enhanced production efficiency. Now, by involving employees directly in problem solving, Toyota was able to create a culture of ownership, resulting in higher quality standards and better overall performance. Okay, uh, next slide. Okay, now a few of my favorites tools that you can use for continuous improvement as well is root cause analysis. This is a method to identify and address the underlying causes of those problems. Plan, do, check, act cycle, which is a 4-step process for managing and testing improvements. Lean Six Sigma. This is a toolbox of techniques and processes that focuses on reducing waste and efficiency, as well as reducing variation and defects through statistical analysis. Okay, next slide. So tying it all together with quality outcomes to your business success, the quality as a strategic advantage can be a powerful approach when organizations integrate it into their core business strategy. By ensuring high standards in products and services, companies can differentiate themselves in competitive markets, building customer loyalty, and achieving long-term success. Now, with metrics, it all depends on your company, what you do, what you build, what you serve. Your KPIs all may be a little different, but some of the more common KPIs that I've seen through my 15 plus years of working in the life science is customer satisfaction. Everyone has a customer. Now, you can, for example, you can generate some numbers through if you have a CRM system, or if you have live uh, customer representatives, you can work with them to generate like a scorecard to gather some information to understand what your customer satisfaction score might be, your cost of poor quality. Now, this is near and dear to my heart. It's very important that you work with your quality leadership or seek out an expert to help your company investigate what your cost of poor quality is in order to develop a remediation strategy plan. And then your on-time delivery. Now, this is a good resource for data that would be to get your output numbers. You can generate them from your supply chain, your logistics team, or the person that is responsible for your on-time delivery, whatever that looks like for you. And the financial impact of that, when you track and trend those key metrics, these strategic drivers result in positive financial impact, which in turn effectively communicates the financial ties to your stakeholders, where your company can further align your quality initiatives with your business objectives and maximize value. So whether you are the key decision maker, or if you have like a co-owner or a team of individuals, this all helps communicate how important quality is to your team. And with that, you have reduced cost, increased revenue, and improved profitability. Okay, next slide. Okay, now another case study example I'd like to highlight would be Johnson & Johnson. They are known for having a deeply embedded positive quality culture that aligns well with ISO standards, FDA regulations, and other known notified bodies. Okay, they from leveraging the quality culture to differentiating itself in the market to its cross-functional design for quality collaborations between their different departments. Because of this, their their regulatory success consistently favorable, audit outcomes, their customer trust, they have high customer satisfaction rates, their employee engagement, they are empowered employees who take pride in their role of ensuring the quality, and of course, their sustainability speaks for itself. And this is all due to their senior leaderships. They champion their culture of quality. They provide robust training programs for their employees at all levels. They're knowledgeable about ISO regulations and FDA requirements. And they implement advanced EQMS tools, that's electronic quality management system, to monitor and manage the quality metrics across product life cycle. Okay, next slide.
Cassandra, can I
Uh-huh,
ask a short little question? So,
sure.
the two case studies are great. I love them. They're rather large companies, though. I'm curious if you can talk to what smaller organizations can do that might not obviously have the resources that Johnson and Johnson has or Toyota has, in being able to incorporate kind of the quality culture and still be able to make the types of impacts that can result for them.
Sure, absolutely. Um, Smaller companies actually have an advantage to Johnson& and Johnson and Toyota. They've been around for a very long time, so they've been able to cultivate their culture over a long, long time. Smaller companies are agile. You can move faster. There's not as much bureaucracy to kind of weigh you down. So you actually can use a lot of creative measures in order to cultivate your quality. You might have a smaller team. So if you have like a manager, a facilitator, and executive leadership, those actually could be what you call breakout meetings. You can actually consolidate any sort of town hall or Kaizen into a one centralized setup meeting. So smaller companies actually can run leaner and faster. You may not have as much of the infrastructure and the financial resources, but you can, I guess, have the creativity in order to cultivate, I guess, I want to say, a more concentrated culture of quality within your team. Um, and and I do offer a few resources that actually points to some of this that could help out smaller teams.
Awesome. Great. Thanks.
Not a problem. Okay, let's see. Oh, next slide. So I'd like to take another pause and to engage with the audience and ask a question. How confident are you in linking quality outcomes to business success metrics in your organization? Somewhat confident and neutral. Somewhat confident is leading. Okay. Not confident. Okay. That's all right. Confident. Okay. All right. Excellent. Thank you. All right. Okay. And fun fact about that particular poll, the average organization, when asked the same question, their answer is between neutral to somewhat confident. And it actually leans towards neutral, with the biggest challenge being a lack of sophisticated data analytics capabilities and incomplete or inconsistent quality metrics that limit cross-functional collaboration. So that's actually on par. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Nice. All right.
Next
Let's
slide.
back
Um,
to the slides. All right. And mhm.
okay. So the key takeaways I like everyone to, if nothing else I just said, the key takeaways of actionable items that you can use is first and foremost leadership commitment. As I said before, you guys are on top of the food chain. You set the tone for the organization. So leading by example by actively participating, it's key. So think of it like trying to get a child to eat their vegetables. They're more likely to buy in if they see you do it first. Okay. Then there's clear quality objectives. Now, when quality is incorporated within the core decision-making meetings and clearly communicated top down, it conveys to the rest of the organization to take quality seriously. And then employee engagement. By engaged, informed employees, they are more likely to understand how their contributions directly affect the overall quality and in turn be more empowered to take ownership. And having the right systems and processes in place, tools and techniques like Lean Six Sigma, root cause analysis, and an EQMS system will vastly aid in driving your culture of quality forward, increasing efficiency, reducing waste, as well as driving down cost and risk. And in training and development, equipping your employees with the skills and knowledge to make effective quality related decisions, uh, providing training programs for employees at all levels that ensures that they're knowledgeable about ISO, FDA, and other global standards. This ensures that every employee understands their role in maintaining quality from design through post-market surveillance. And then, of course, documentation and metrics. If anybody has ever been their door knocked by FDA, the old saying goes, if it's not written down, didn't happen. So, tracking and trending your company's key metrics that align clearly with your quality objectives and are both supported and communicated by leadership will result in a solid quality culture that drives company success. Okay, next slide. So, building a quality culture, it requires leadership, engagement, and metrics. Continuous improvement is essential for long-term success. Quality outcomes drive compliance and overall business success. And immediate actions that you can take today are first assessing culture, your current culture. Put all your dirty laundry on the table, see what you're honestly dealing with. Identify your gaps. A lean technique that I like would be gap analysis. This helps you find your most immediate pain points, maybe your top three, top five, whatever good looks like for you, and then setting your priorities. For example, another uh, strategy that I like is triage. This is a process where you quickly assess your issues based on severity and potential impact. So the most critical issues are addressed first. That's why it's important that you first honestly assess your current culture. Okay. Uh, so next slide. Okay. Now, for a long-term 30-day or more plan, in addition to the immediate actions that you and your team would also incorporate, you develop a strategy plan, you create an implementation plan, and then you get together and you design beginning and execution. Now, a link to that a complimentary assessment plan that I've created for those that were able to join. This is going to be provided at the end of the webinar, and you can customize it based on your needs. Okay. Uh, all right. So next slide. All right. So here I'll pause for any Q&A session. Q&A session. Anyone have any questions for me that I'll be more than happy to answer?
Thanks so much, Cassandra. As a matter of fact, we have one question. And by the way, you can go to the Q&A section of Zoom and just type in your question, and we'll be happy to take it on air. All right, so here's a question. How do you protect and amend the bad impression of quality from customers after still having quality regulatory certified? I'm going to read it again. How
Okay.
do you protect and amend the bad impression of quality from customers after still having regulatory certified?
So how do you correct and amend a bad impression from a customer, even though you were certified?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, certification is good. It's definitely a positive. But if you have a bad, it all depends on what that situation was with the customer. But it's been, from my experience, owning up to it, um, being upfront with the customer, and then taking the feedback that they have and having a sense of urgency it shows the customer that they're not just being blown off. Okay. Um, it all depends on what that egregious is. If it's a product, um, obviously you have to replace it complementary with a new product. Um, and just kind of going above and beyond for that customer. If it's a and if it's from a customer's perspective, of course, uh, getting them quickly a new product, acting with urgency, overnighting that product, um, uh, following up with that customer to see if they had any further issues with that issue with that problem. Because Amazon, they do have really, really good customer service, customer feedback. They don't give you a hard time when it comes to correcting that situation. Um, in If it is from a quality perspective from the back end, you take a immediate non-compliance. You file that. You work with the immediate team who either built, manufactured, or coded whatever that particular item was that the customer was not happy with. Of course, taking a survey, finding out what the issue was, what they could have done better, and just apologizing to the customer. That's a great amount of information you could take from the customer to understand better your customer feedback and your customer service from a customer service. Is it something simple as they got there late? Is it something in terms of your certification, if you're ISO 9001 certified and you were not compliant, and if your customer is another business, that's another situation there too. So then you go back into the back end for whether you manufactured it, produced it, coded it, whatever the situation was, and you do um, a mini gap analysis and find out where did you go wrong and how where you may or may not be compliant to that certification. Um, and then if it's something as a simple correction, then you can, go through your corrective procedure and to make sure that doesn't happen again. If it's depends on the certification and the ingredients, if it's a huge kappa, then you go through the necessary kappa process and you document that. So then you correct it and then you prevent it from happening again and then retrain.
Yeah, great. They added more background. It's a honey production company, so obviously that's something that people take
FDA.
seriously. It's FDA regulated. So yeah, um,
Yeah. Okay. And if that's a one customer situation, you quickly deal with that. If it is something that is batch related, and you have to determine whether that is a voluntary recall, so that the FDA doesn't come knocking at your door, uh, or if it's something bigger, so that way you can prevent a 43, because that's something I specialize in.
excellent. Good, good, good. Great question. Let's see. I don't think we have any more questions. So I have one question. So of course, quality cuts across pretty much all industries, right?
Yes.
Um, in some industries, obviously, more the impact of deviations and nonconformities is higher than others. Obviously, we're in tech, um, but what do you see going forward next year, for example, with QMSR and some of the push from regulatory agencies in terms of just building a more proactive stance for quality versus kind of check the box type. We did it type stuff. How do you see this playing out over the long haul?
In terms of quality as a whole, or quality in the industry, or any specific industry, like IT or FDA or medical or something like, or just in
In
big picture?
more highly regulated industries, so life sciences, for example, aviation, industries that have a lot more obvious impact, if you will.
Well, definitely competition. In terms of from a business standpoint, from a regulatory standpoint, um, it's going to be very much robust in terms of being proactive. More highly regulations. The world is becoming more global than local. So when dealing with EU, uh, Canada, ISO Canada, and the US, um, it's becoming much more integrated. So it's a very fast-paced moving industry, and definitely more proactivity. I know FDA, they are, how should you say, they're cracking the whip, for lack of a better word, in terms of companies that don't take a more proactive approach. Um, some of the uh, some of the regulations, especially with the pharmaceutical world, it's just being able to being more proactive, especially when it comes to um, medical devices and pharmaceuticals, ingestibles, things of that nature. Um, that is that's becoming more prevalent. And now that AI has been like in the limelight, a lot of corporations are utilizing artificial intelligence in order to help them keep up with industry standards
Mhm.
because it's becoming very global. It's very becoming integrated. I've seen EU information and FDA information almost blending in with one another. Um,
Mm.
the ICH information and the 13045 coming together along with 17025 for labs. It's all becoming one big circle, and they are all talking to each other.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, great.
Excellent. All right. Okay. Well, if there are no other questions, I do thank you all that were able to come. I've been able to provide some resources for your troubles. I have again, as I mentioned before, I have a free assessment plan on my website, on my link. Feel free to go to CHHO qualitysolutions.com /resources backslash uh, where you can receive your 30-day plan. I'll also take the liberty of sending it to you guys as well. If the information, your contact information has been provided, I'll be more than happy to send that as well for your convenience. And then there's a few book recommendations that I recommend as a great resource. One is the Toyota Way, 14 Management Principles from the World's Greatest Manufacturer by Jeffrey K. Laker. This book actually provides a comprehensive guide to fostering a culture of quality through lean principles and continuous improvement practices. This can be adopted in any industry. Another book is Lean Thinking. Banish the Waste and Create Wealth in Your Corporation by James P. Womack and Daniel T. Jones. This book actually focuses on lean principles, offering a framework for eliminating waste and improvement processes. And for anyone that is in quality, Out of the Crisis by author W. Edwards Deming. This explains the principles of total quality management and how organizations can improve systems to enhance quality and drive success. And I also regularly write about quality as well. You can find my articles and industry insights in the QR code there as well. Um, some of the next steps, as I've talked about before, identifying at least one key area in your organization where you can start making quality improvements today. Scheduling a meeting with your quality leadership to discuss quality culture initiatives, the things that you've learned today. Um, and you can also schedule a complimentary consult with myself. Learn more about CH House of Quality Solutions in the QR below. Um, and that is all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And really, I enjoyed this session. It's very informative. Of course, for those that have attended, like Cassandra said, she has a packet of resources for you all. So we'll find a way to get that to you. And if you are looking for a little bit more information on CH House of Quality or ELEAP, please use the information on screen. I do see a question come in. Let me just check it real quick before we hang up. In assistance in building quality policy. Yeah, so we'll check out your questions and we'll respond to you after the session. Again, thanks so very much. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And for those that are celebrating the holidays, happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.